Sports Pulse fans, welcome back to Radio Row. We are here in Miami for Super Bowl 54. I got Pittsburgh Steelers legend Troy Polamalu with me, who said, humble brag, I've never been to one of these Radio Rows before, because you're always playing in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I guess so, but it's pretty fascinating to see like all the celebrities walking around and all the sports figures. So yeah, I've never been part of that before. But, yeah.
What have you been up to lately?
I usually only see them on the sidelines.
Exactly. Stop it! You're putting us to shame. I know. So recently, you are in the running for getting into the Hall of Fame. What was that like when you heard you were?
It's a tremendous honor for me. I think about my teammates, and that's honestly the first thing that I think about. I definitely feel unworthy of any sort of recognition because, you know, I grew up watching the Ronnie Lotts and even played as a contemporary with Ed Reed and Rodney Harrison's and a lot of these players that either are in the Hall of Fame or are not in the Hall of Fame, and I've always looked up to them, so it's hard for me to sit there and think that I'm deserving of something like this, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you do get it, like, what's that going to be like for you? What would that mean for you?
Honestly, I don't even know. I really don't even know.
Thought that
I never got into never started playing this game to really receive any awards. I truly love to play the game of football. Yeah. I love to practice. I didn't like the games as much as even practice because like the games had stress attached to it, you know, and you had to win and all these sort of things. I just love to play football.
Yeah.
So I didn't. When these sort of awards come along, you know, I'm sometimes almost a little indifferent towards them, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go to Miami now. Yeah, so yeah, I am grateful though. I'm definitely grateful.
Yeah, and I know coming up, I think it's like here in a week or so, the XFL, the new XFL. Is going to be coming out. I know you were the head of player relations, I believe it was, for the AAF.
Yes, correct.
So, I mean, what are your thoughts on the new XFL coming out?
I hope they're really successful. Like I said, I love the sport of football. Yeah. I have a lot of friends involved in the sport of football, and I hope that you know, more football leagues, and the longer they can sustain a league for, the better for all of us, for sure. Yeah.
And also, speaking of things coming up, the draft coming up, Tua is obviously going to be one of the top picks. What would it mean to see someone of American Samoan descent leading possibly a franchise and giving that representation at quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think Marcus, you know, definitely paved the way, winning the Heisman and being drafted to Tennessee, and to have another Samoan out there, it's really shows, you know, our culture's, you know, cohesion with the sport. You know, it's a very beautiful thing of how respect, honor, hard work, and humility are so ingrained within our culture, and how we're able to exercise that through our sport.
Yeah, and talking about this past season Steelers team, it seems like at the beginning of the season when Big Ben was injured, things were rocky at the beginning, and then second half of the season the defense really helped to switch that identity. How do you feel like the team's identity has gone from, you know, the killer bees to the defense being that face of the identity, especially you to start saying.
Yeah, exactly. I'll definitely always make the argument that the Steeler organization is not only built through the locker room, but built through the defense.
Yeah.
And that no Steeler team can ever win a Super Bowl without having a great defense, let alone, you know, any team for the most part.
Yeah.
But it was really great to see the defense come through at the latter part of this season. And I really think that they've gone through a lot of cultural changes internally as well. And I think that's really great for them. And I think the team leadership has really stepped up. I know coaching gets a lot of credit, but, you know, the coaching has been the same for the last few years. And I think the leadership internally within the locker room is what's really changed the dynamic of the organization. I see I hope for a lot of better things to come.
Yeah, and I think it was maybe last week or recently, I know Antonio Brown was let off house arrest. Have you been in contact, talked to him at all since?
You know,
I know it's been a while.
Yeah, well, Antonio was a teammate of mine at Pittsburgh. Definitely love him as an individual, as a person. I feel bad that he's going through all of these, you know, whatever he's going through in life. We definitely had a locker room that you know, loves all players and former players, and you know, I, amongst probably all of his former teammates from Pittsburgh, have reached out to him, and you know, I just hope that he understands that we love him and that we'd have no, selfish ambition in trying to help him or reach out to him. And I feel bad for him because it's tough.
It must be hard for you
yeah,
too.
It's tough, especially for people, in that situation that he's coming up from. I mean, he had nothing in his life. He grew up here in Miami, couldn't trust anybody. You get to the league where they just want to use you for your talents and not necessarily for who he is, and it's hard to find trust in anybody, given in that position. But I definitely hope the best for him, and he's overcome so much in his life. This is, to me, I feel, is just another hurdle that he'll overcome as well.
Now, I got a fun question for you. So everyone considers the 2008 Super Bowl to be one of the funnest games they've watched.
Oh, wow.
In your opinion, do you think it was? What do you remember most about that game?
Oh, man, gosh. It was definitely an emotional roller coaster. That whole week was really fun, to be very frank. When we first came in that week I found the best Jamaican restaurant.
You did?
Oh gosh. And I ate it like 3-4 times a day. I was buying boxes full of food, just bringing it back to the team.
So you're about to be sponsored by the Jamaican team?
Yeah, man, I gained 20 pounds in one. Oh yeah.
You sound like me.
So when Larry Fitzgerald ran between in cover 2, he ran split me and Ryan. I just remember to myself that Jamaican food. I literally in the middle of the game that Jamaican
You're
food.
I'm about to barf.
I'm just I couldn't even.
Breaking news: Troy barfs up all his
Couldn't even breathe. Yeah, it was rough. But thank God, later on in the game, obviously Antonio Ben had that great drive. But to me, the play of the game was James Harrison and his interception return, which was a 14-point swing. So that goes back to the defense wins championships. So
I like that. Now I just actually saw this on the TV too. Tom Brady. Did you see the other day the picture he posted?
No, I didn't.
So he posted a photo of, it was very cryptic. It was he posted this photo of just him, and that's it.
Oh wow.
So what do you think this is? I don't know what to.
Listen, Tom's connection with the Illuminati.
What is going on, Tom?
Do
you think he's retiring? What is that?
No, I think Tom is an extremely brilliant person. Everything Tom does is very calculated. Absolutely. And he's all. Yeah, I've got no idea, but
you said Illuminati.
Yeah. Is that even Tom?
Is that even Tom? I like that. Maybe we'll never know. Hopefully, news doesn't break. But I know you're here on behalf of Head and Shoulders. Your hair has been a huge part of your career. So tell me about that. What that relationship has still been like with them.
It's been great. It's funny. I'll meet people and say, my mom knows you only through commercials, not through football. But we've had a great partnership over quite a few years. Last summer we shot the commercial with Patrick, and he's an awesome person. He really is. And I really sensed something special from him, that he was going to do something special in this world and win multiple Super Bowls. And it's nice that this happened this year.
Yeah.
And definitely hope the best for him. He's very, very sweet-natured, innocent, childlike
still
almost. Yeah, it's just really awesome.
You got a lot to learn.
Yeah, well, no, he just, but yet he still commands that respect of leadership. He's, it's kind of, we go back and forth with our commercial of the offense wins games, defense wins championships. And I've been fortunately part of 3 Super Bowls. With a lot of celebrities around, a lot of Radio Rows and all that. And,
you got jokes.
And the 3rd Super Bowl we lost because our defense didn't play well. The first 2 we won because our defense played well. So Patrick will be able to prove whether or not offense wins games.
Patrick,
or defense.
we're talking to you.
Yeah, but I'm sure he'll prove us well.
I like that. Okay, so I want to know, what's one of your favorite Head and Shoulders products?
I go.
Because I'm jealous of your hair, so I've always been jealous of your hair. But
I'm a classic clean type of guy.
Classic?
I'm definitely old school.
Okay.
Grew up on the classic clean. Definitely keep that in the shower as well.
I like that.
And as I learned on the Mad Dog radio sports show, you can use it as a body wash as well. Yeah.
A 4-in-1.
A 4-in-1. Absolutely.
You need one product for your body. Awesome. Thank you so much, Troy.
Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure's
Guys,
mine.
we got a
Appreciate
few
it.
more coming up here on Radio Row. This is Sports Pulse, your heartbeat for what's trending in sports. We'll be right back.